The world works in mysterious ways, and time has a way of expanding and contracting. Just a few weeks ago, my guest was Murray Langston, the unknown comic who appeared on more than 150 episodes of The Gong Show. And today, my guest is comedian Bob Zany, who also appeared on The Gong Show, but was shown the hook before he finished his act. So, in fairness, years later, he did return as a judge. Now he's headlining in Brad Garrett's Comedy Club at the MGM through December 23rd. For ticket information, go to bradgarrettcomedy.com. For everything about Bob Zany, you can go to bobzany.net and follow him on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And Bob, welcome to the show, or welcome back.
Thanks, Ira. It's great to hear about Murray. Murray, I starred in a movie called Up Your Alley in 1988 with Linda Blair. I don't know if he talked about that or not.
He didn't mention that, but we had so much to talk, and he's hilarious, as you are. So it was great to
Well, I haven't been hilarious so far, but thank you for that. I'll do what I can, okay? I'm worried about the lighting, okay? But Murray Langston, it's interesting. When I was like 19, I was a messenger in Los Angeles, and what I do is deliver packages to celebrities in the studios and TVs, all these people. And Murray was one of them. And I brought him a check, but I didn't get to meet him personally. And who knew 10 years later we'd be starring a movie together,
It is amazing. As I say, the world works in mysterious ways. And so, have you ever regretted graduating West Covina High?
No, and I can see why you would bring that up. But it's interesting. They say you can't come home again. So 2 months ago, I went back to Covina. They have a Laugh Factory there, which is exciting. So I played the Laugh Factory Covina because you can't go home again. You have to go to Covina, not West Covina.
Right, exactly.
But no, you know what? I kind of say this. I'm working on my autobiography, and everything I learned about life I learned in high school, and I think most of us do, on how to navigate the cliques and knowing how to succeed or how not to succeed and all that.
Are you going to be coming back on the show to talk about once the autobiography is back? I'd like you to come back on and talk about it.
Yeah, it's called Plan C, baby. It all started with the word no, because there's so many things in my career. Someone told me, no, you can't do that. And then I went on to doing it. So,
well, like they said, you couldn't graduate West Covina High, and you did.
I did graduate, but I did not get my diploma, Ira, and I'm glad you brought that up. When I graduated, I tripped off stage, and the whole class went nuts and laughed. Well, the principal didn't like it, and they didn't give you your diploma. They just handed you an empty folder.
Right.
And to get the diploma, you had to turn in your cap and gown. They told me that I had to apologize to him. Now, my brother Tony, who's funny, he said, you should go in and apologize and trip on your way out. But I went there because my parents were livid. That's all they ever wanted from their kids was to graduate from high school, because they didn't get that far. So I went in and I went to apologize. He wasn't there. And I walked out of his office. And I said, I'm going to turn this into an HBO special. I'm going to come back to West Covina High and get my diploma. Well, 20 years later in Comedy Central, when I was nominated for Club Comic of the Year, we went back to West Covina High. I got my diploma. It wasn't HBO, but Comedy Central is owned by HBO.
Same thing,
so
yeah.
How about that?
I like that. That's great. So they knew you were coming, so they obviously had the diploma ready, I would think.
Well, I think so. I think we called ahead. And it turned out the new principal was my coach in football. So it was kind of cool, And he actually looked at the grades of my grades and said, you weren't a bad student. And I would have been higher up in the class had I not, screwed around all the time and tried to be funny.
And that's to my question I was actually going to ask you, which is, when did you discover you were funny? It must have been even before high school, right? Junior high or elementary?
I come from a very funny family. I always say I get my tenacity for comedy from my dad, and I get my my quick wit and intelligence from my mom. And my brothers and sisters, they're all funny. In fact, I have two older brothers, so when I went to high school, finally, the counselor would say, well, your brothers are funny, like meaning I wasn't.
So or that you had something to aspire to, perhaps. Maybe that's why.
Who knows? I mean, the interesting thing is that graduating from West Covina High, I actually went to school with Nia Peoples. I don't know if you know who she is, the actress, singer. And 10 years ago, we starred in a movie together called 23 Minutes to Sunrise, where we played husband and wife, and we had a kissing scene. Nice. Now, here's the interesting thing. Nia and I, she used to give me rides to school because she literally lived like 2 blocks away from me, and I'd walk to her house and take me to school. She graduated in '80. I graduated in '79, and I bet she's not happy that I pointed that out. But and Tom Bernanski graduated in '78, who went on to win the World Series ring for the Minnesota Twins in baseball. So we have some famous people from West Covina.
The funny people that you mentioned, which is your family, were there any comedians, professional comedians that you looked to when you decided you were going to pursue a career in comedy? Was there any one, because your style is unique, so was there one person you
Well,
got?
I would say it'd have to be Steve Martin because I graduated in '79, as I mentioned, and he was the guy. I mean, he was it. He was huge, and everybody loved Steve Martin. But also Johnny Carson, I liked because he was funny when a joke didn't work, and to me, that's a true comedian. But and the cool thing about Steve Martin is 4 years, 5 years later, I was hired by him to be on George Burns Comedy Week for CBS. It was an anthology series, and George Burns was the host, and I was hired to do a scene, and Steve Martin was the executive producer. So how about that, huh?
Nice. Did you
Yeah,
act as a fan or did you act as a professional or did
I
you?
was a I was a comedian, and we were. It was called the Jack Guilford, who I don't know if you remember him.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he was sitting in a wheelchair, and all these comedians show up try to make him laugh. That was the scene, and I was one of them. So,
Jack Guilford, who had many roles on Broadway, and I believe it was a funny thing happened on the way to the Forum.
and also I think he's a Cracker Jacks commercial, which he's more famous for.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you thought about going into the commercial world? Because you are I guess a road comic, a road comedian. You're always touring, you're always performing, and it's obviously making money at it. Did you ever think about taking a pause and doing commercials or doing other
Well,
things?
I've done a little bit of everything. The cool thing is I went out on 300 commercial auditions in my younger days. Never got a commercial. The first one I finally get was for Sherman Williams Paints, which you go, well, that's cool. Well, my dad was a house painter.
See, small world again.
Yeah, small world again. So, I've done a few commercials here and there, but that's a different animal. It's like you have to constantly audition. And I'll give you an example. I was probably 26, and I went in for the Bob's Big Boy commercial, and I walk into this audition room. Everybody's dressed like Bob Big Boy to the T with the curly hair and everything. I just had my street clothes on. I walked in, I look around, I go, they want it more than I do, and then I walked out. But I probably should have went in and did it because they were like how refreshing it was, and I didn't look the part.
You would
You
have
never
stood
know.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Right. Yeah. That's funny stuff. You're based in LA still, right?
No, I'm in Vegas. I live here now.
Oh, you live in Vegas. I didn't realize that. Well, look at
Yeah,
that.
I've been here for 4 years now.
Okay.
It was time to move. I've born and raised in West Covina, and then I lived in the Valley up till 2019. We
Which
got here just
nobody holds that
uh,
against you, Bob. So
not
it's
a, oh, I went from the San Gabriel Valley to the San Fernando Valley. Uh, but the exciting thing is we got here just in time for COVID.
yeah, of course. Great timing. What made
Now
you?
this is it, Ira. You're going to love this. They asked the Chinese. They said that they've been very forthcoming on the origins of the COVID-19
Yeah.
virus. In fact, they sent a balloon with all the records. I have to sneak a joke in once in a while
I
because I
love
don't
it.
know. You're so serious and you care, and I think my shirt matches the background, but I could be wrong. And my
No,
eyes.
you're a little lighter, but it still works out really
It
well.
is. I'm pale right now because I'm
I
just
want,
thinking of
oh, I want to go
it.
back to something I didn't know about that you moved to Las Vegas because you've been very under the wire or under the radar when it comes to that. I always thought you were still in LA because you travel a lot and now this is your base of operations.
This is it, and it doesn't matter where you live. I've lived half my adult life on the road. I've performed in all 50 states. I've performed in Puerto Rico. I performed in U.S. Virgin Islands, even Guam. I performed in Guam. In fact, Ira, you're going to love this. I bombed in Guam before Kim Jong Un could, and I've been to 13 countries. So I got a well-rounded career in the sense that I think as a performer, you really do need to perform to all different audiences. But I'm very fortunate. I was taught to appeal to everybody. whereas a lot of comics are niche comics where they just appeal to their little demographic.
How important is a likability factor when it comes to comedy?
Well, I hate you right now for asking that question. It's everything. See, if people don't like you, they won't let you be funny. They immediately think you're a-hole. So you got to win them over. And when I do my act, I work the crowd. I did you see me perform? I mean,
Oh,
I work the
yes.
crowd,
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
and I include them into the show, and I make fun of myself, and I make fun of them, and then we say goodnight. It's a
Well,
simple formula.
do you think that your lack of attractiveness connects you with the audience?
I think it is that, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to say the same thing about you. And do you think it's the hats we both wear to show
Yes,
our thinning hair?
exactly. Of course. I look more distinguished with the hat as
You've
opposed
had a
to
lot of guests just walk off your show because you're
no.
very mean. You're a mean
Hopefully.
man and you hurt people. I bet halfway through the interview, Murray put the bag back on.
He did. He started with the bag on, took it
Oh,
off.
he did?
Yeah, he did. He started with the bag for about 20 seconds.
I got to tell you something. I auditioned for the Gong Show 3 times. Okay. The one time I had a paper bag. I had it all over my body with just my head exposed. And I said I was the unknown comic's half brother. Now, come on. That's pretty inventive for a kid. And this was
Exactly.
the 70s. Come on.
You're not,
I
listen,
didn't
you're
get
right.
on. I did not get on.
Yeah, but look what you've made of yourself after all these years.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing, you don't know what's going to be your success story. I mean, I had to hear no from the Gong Show, but then I got the Gong Show. You know what I mean? It's like I did a talent contest in West. It was actually, I think it was Covina. It was the club was called Next Time Country, and they had this talent contest every week. I did it 10 weeks in a row and lost. On the 11th week, I won, and it was always the same judges. I said, "How come I won?" He said, "Because you never gave up."
Nice. I
Isn't
like
that
that.
nice?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you want to hear. It's like I still wasn't funny, but that's not the point.
Now you're at the Ice House too, and you weren't funny either, right?
Well, I did if you're talking about my first audition there,
Yes, right.
uh,
Yeah.
they would take comedians and they'd have you come on Thursday afternoon around 4, and you would audition for Jan Smith, who's one of the owners at the time, in an empty room, and he would sit in the sound booth. And I did my 5 minutes, and I'm walking out. He says, "I don't think you're ready for the club." And I looked around. And I said, "I don't think your club's ready either."
Did I
But
mention
I'm
did I
Go
mention
ahead.
Bob Zany is a 1979 graduate of West Covina High School? I think I mentioned that.
Who is?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew somebody mentioned it 3 or 4 times so far during our conversation, which I like. I like
Yeah.
to keep bringing it
Let me
up.
read the transcript. Hang on.
I want to
You
point
know
out.
what I like about this interview, Ira? It's
What's that?
almost like you're there.
Yeah, I
And
know.
that to me is
I'm
so
working on it.
impressive.
I'm working on it.
You care.
Bob Zany is also a 3-time nominee, not a winner, but a 3-time nominee for Annual American Comedy Awards Best Male Stand-Up Comic.
Yes, that's right. And George Slaughter is actually the gentleman who put that show together, who created Laugh-In. And George has hired me a few times over the years, and he just wrote a book. In fact, I have it. That's my next book I'm reading. It's called Still Laughing.
Oh, let me point
And
this out. This is a great way to plug my other podcast, Ira's Everything Bagel. George is a guest on it, and you go to iraseverythingbagel.com. You will hear my conversation, or go to YouTube and you will watch it. My conversation with the wonderful George Slaughter.
yeah, he's the greatest guy in the whole world, and he actually mentions me in the book as one of the people he's worked with over the years. So that was cool.
Yeah, he's a very funny guy, very sharp. He's in his 90s. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
He, he,
Are you going to be sharp in your 90s, Bob?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't
That
know.
wasn't a hostile question. I just thought I'd throw it
It
out.
really is, and well, I think you lie in wait, and then you wait for the hurt to come back out.
Yes, but
Yeah,
I'm
I'm sure you treated George that way.
not at all. I treat him with
know.
total respect. Absolutely.
I had a documentary on my career come out in 2012 called Close But No Cigar, and George was one of the people we had interviewed, and he had the best stories about show business. And at the end of the interview, my director's there, and we were leaving. I said, "Are you going to be able to use any of that?" He said, "Well, they're great stories, but he didn't talk about you at all." So I get the feeling you'd be the same way, Ira.
Probably so, but
You,
now I'm
you,
talking about you, including I want to give out a shout out to you because of your many years on the Bob and Tom show.
That's right. 17 years every Tuesday with the Zany Report. I still call in periodically.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
today's my day where I call into radio stations across the country. So I do about 20 with the Zany Report. So I keep, my fingers in the pie. My Dry Bar comedy special is on YouTube and also drybar.com. But we did tape 10 episodes of the Zany Report, which are pretty cool. I really think it's some of my best work, but what do I know? I'm talking to you.
That's true. That's what everybody says. No, but when you're writing, when you're writing the Zany Report, that's the other part of you. You have the performing side, but you have the writing side. So it forces you to, or commits you to writing on a regular
Right.
basis.
Well, it's interesting. As a comedian, you got to constantly keep adding new jokes, and I always try to add 3 new jokes every time I perform to keep it fresh. But the fact that I work the audience, I kind of keep it fresh because sometimes I have no idea what I'm going to come up with, and then I come up with something. But I had Tom Dreesen, you know Tom, right?
Tom's been on the show too. Yes.
Tom, he was on my podcast, and he tells the best story about George Burns. George was like 98, and he went to go see him at Caesar's Palace, and he went backstage to the dressing room. And, Tom, come on in. Hey, did you see I tried 3 new jokes tonight and they worked? And he was 98.
Yeah, that's dedication.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's
I
professional.
mean, and
Yeah.
it kind of makes you enjoy the show a little bit more if you know you're going to try something as opposed to the tried and true.
Right. So how about when you look at your act, such as it is, when you look at it, how much of it is, as you say, playing to the crowd, doing crowd work, coming up with stuff off the fly just by standing and talking, as opposed to, you have a certain amount of material that works every time?
Well, it's about 30%, and then there's 30% of I do the Zany Report usually, and then 30% of the Goodwill tour where I go to the Goodwill and buy stuff and report back.
So is that how you furnished your place in Las Vegas?
Well, yeah, tell that to my wife. No, you find things and you just go, this is funny. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Did you think it's secret to your long marriage is the fact that you're on the road a lot, so that
That's what she
separation?
says. My wife's a very funny stand-up comedian, Irish. She plays the Ahern. She plays Delirious Comedy Club. She's going to be at Wise Guys. So she's got her own career. That's how we met. We were both comics. So
Excellent. Mention her name. Give it a shout.
Erin O'Connor. Erin O'Connor.
All right, excellent.
Very funny, and she's classy. So she would be great on this show.
Yeah, well, yes, I'll have her on.
Look what
Yeah.
look what we're doing.
Yeah, well, I know. You're a
We're bringing down the ratings if you had any.
you're a hard man to track down because I know where I was trying to get you on the show at least a year ago, and you were saying I can't make it this time, but maybe the next time, and I'm coming back in December. So I said I gotta get hold of Bob, and then I text Bob just for the audience to hear and see. I text Bob, and then he gets back to me about a month later. Okay, I'm exaggerating.
Oh,
He just
stop
say,
it.
okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay.
No, I got back to you. I was a little shocked that you reached out to me because you acted like you were the king and you come to the king and you asked for things. And I was just a court jester. I was thinking about the court jesters, Did
What's
they
that?
did they complain of other court jesters? Hey, that's my bit. I did that for the king last week, Because that's all comics do is complain that someone stole their joke. Then write a new joke.
Exactly. Well, I
And
think
if you don't want anyone to steal your material, don't ever say it. Keep it up here. And don't hang out with a psychic.
well, I think if the court jester stole other court jester's material, they wouldn't be long for this world in those days, right?
Well, they weren't long for the world anyway. I'm sure that there was a lot of death. And
Yeah.
that's probably why, the term I'm dying up here came from. And then if you're killing, that was the king making a word to the guards.
Aside from yourself, who would you say is the funniest man around from your perspective? Because everybody differs, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to go with me because it's my turn, and
Yeah.
I've worked very hard to get to wherever.
No, but
I'm
I
at.
said aside from yourself.
No, I'm going to go with me again. Okay. There's a few people who are my friends who are very funny, but it's almost like I'll give you an example. My dad was a house painter, as I mentioned. House was never painted. Okay. Do you think I come home and tell jokes to the dog? No. They're paying cover, 2 kibble minimum. It's like when you're off the comedy thing. I think most comics are very serious and pensive people. The good ones.
Right.
The bad ones you don't want to be around anyway.
Well,
and I'm sure you've had a few on this show.
Oh, yes. There are comedians who are never off. In other words, they go off stage, but they're still that persona. And most comedians are on and know their persona, but then they're perfectly comfortable not being that when they're off, because it's mostly them, but it's an exaggerated form of them.
That's what, it's interesting. Rodney Dangerfield, I got to work with him for 2 years, and he would tell me about when he'd started a movie. He says, "Man, it's a little exaggeration of who I am. Okay, man. Okay."
It's true. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Do you feel yourself the same way, though, that you're just a little exaggeration of yourself before you go up there, or when
Oh,
you?
I guess I can be very serious. I mean, when you're younger, you're on all the time because you really want to win someone's approval. And it's like, I don't care anymore. I mean, you get it or you
Well,
don't.
that's obvious by this interview.
Well, obviously, by even saying yes to this interview. You want to
Yes.
play this game? I'll play the game, but you're going to get hurt. Okay. I'll play with that eye.
But I could see that you could relax after you get off stage and just be comfortable at home.
Well, yeah. You, Ira, I feel that you're always on and you can't go to bed unless that backdrop is hits your bed. I just, this is Ira and I'm going to go to sleep now.
Right. Well, this is not really a backdrop. I'm actually on the roof of Caesar's Palace
Yeah,
overlooking.
sure you are.
So
Sure you
yeah,
are. Yeah.
can't believe you
And
went.
I'm in my office with all my crap.
That's great, Bob. That's great green screen you got. I like it. It's great.
Thank you.
Phony backdrop of messy office. So that works
But
out.
I'm excited about doing Brad's. Brad and I actually started out together at the Ice House. We were the house MCs. He went on to bigger and better things. And again, I'm doing your podcast.
Yeah, I know. I know. He's taller than you, right?
Much taller and more handsome, I would say, because obviously I had no idea how ugly I was until you told me. Thank you.
Oh, I'm going to feel guilty after this is over.
No, you see, but I was baptized Catholic. I can do the Catholic guilt. You can do the Jewish guilt. We'll be fine.
Yeah, you're probably right. So isn't it, again, full circle, small world, where you're working at Brad's Comedy Club? And again,
Yes,
that's through December 23rd.
18th or the 23rd. So that means no new Christmas Eve show, which I'm shocked.
Would you want to be working on Christmas Eve or Christmas?
No, it's just that he's
Yeah.
Jewish, and you would think that he says you got to work. But I actually was in Israel during Hanukkah, and that was an interesting time. This was about 10 years ago.
Right.
I've been there every 5 years for the last 15.
More times than I have been. And I understand that you got into a little bit of trouble that during Hanukkah you were blowing out the candles rather than lighting them. Is that true?
Yeah, and I thought that was your tradition.
No, it's the reverse.
I think I just physically froze on that joke. No, I wasn't. I'm very respectful when I go to another country because I'm a guest. Okay, that's what you got to learn. You bring that American attitude and arrogance. Don't you know who I am? I have a podcast.
No, I usually respect most other nations' cultures. I certainly I do respect West Covina's culture.
It is an amazing culture, and you know what? Here's an interesting thing. Sure, you mock West Covina.
I did not mock it.
It's the only
so close to El Monte Legion Stadium. I'm not gonna.
El Monte. I lived my first 5 years of my life with my parents, obviously. I think, or unless I was orphaned, and then I was born in San Gabriel, lived in West Covina, and then moved to Studio City and Sherman Oaks and the Valley, Encino. Yeah. But here's the thing. I lost complete thought of what you were saying. West Covina. Okay, I got to say it. I look. You know how you can look up a city? There's only one West Covina in the whole country.
That's impressive.
It is because there's, I was just in New Mexico and there's a Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Yes, there is.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Which means the meadows in Espanol, but you didn't know that.
No.
You don't have time for that.
You mentioned all the places you lived in, so that raises a question. Have you ever aspired to move to an upscale city?
No, I haven't, because I knew that. And again, this has been on my bucket list to do this interview with you. You know what I did yesterday, Ira?
What's that?
I went to KFC and I had 12 pieces of chicken because that was on my bucket list.
KFC, good chicken. I like it.
Yeah, it is. Oh, were they a sponsor?
Oh, I just like
that. Was like saving the sponsor right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very good chicken, Bob. We're very excited about the mashed potatoes too.
So listen, when did you first realize, though, that I go back to my original question, which you almost answered. When did you realize you were funny? At what age? Was it 4, 5, 6, 9, 32?
No, I probably early on, because I could make my mom laugh, and I always liked making my mom laugh, and I always thought she was happy about that. But I would say in high school, junior high, high school, I started, being the funny guy, I guess, and not realizing all the torture that goes with that.
Yeah, well, it
So,
is. Yeah. I
but
want, I want to get,
people ask the question you haven't asked me is,
yes,
what did you do before you went into stand up? And I always like to say I was a sophomore.
you were a sophomore.
Yeah, because I was 15 when I was on the Gong Show.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I want to mention again, you mentioned, but let's give it another mention about your dry bar specials because it's very funny. Go to YouTube and you can watch Bob Zany on his dry bar comedy special.
it's the little special I think that could. It's all about to hit 6.7 million views now, which
Amazing.
is puts it in the top 10 of all the specials they've had, and they've had about 1,000 specials, so that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's great. Before I let you go, is there anything you want to promote that I don't know about? You mentioned your upcoming book, which I would love to
Well,
have you back on to talk about the
it,
book.
if you find me attractive and likable, I'm on Cameo.
Oh, yes. I forgot
I'm
to
on
mention
Cameo,
Cameo.
and they
Yes.
can, and for a nominal fee, it's not much. I have
Right.
to actually record one when we hang up, where just write out what you want, and I will say about that person. So, in fact, the last Cameo I just got was someone who saw me at the Ahern, and they want me to do I guess for their son, his birthday. He's
Nice.
25, so that means he only has one more year on their insurance.
The the Cameo, do you ever get requested to do a shout out in another language?
Not yet, not yet. But I think people who've seen our interview would think that I can do gibberish.
Yes, yes. And I think I'm going to put in a request for you to record something for me in gibberish.
By the
And
way, when I was in Israel, I found out my Hebrew name is Zeus. Zeus. You know what
Zeus.
that means? That means
Yes.
go away, go away. Kills in Israel, nothing here, nothing.
You got to stop blowing out those candles during Hanukkah. It
I,
engenders ill will.
and here's the cool thing too. I do have a YouTube channel. It's the official Bob Zany channel, and I'm putting up clips there of TV appearances, but also stand up. And we keep the guy I have running it for me. He's doing a great job. He finds these clips of jokes I don't do anymore, and I go, why not? They're funny, but it's because I've written other jokes. So
Yeah.
it's a great
That's
look
it.
at my career over the years.
So go to YouTube, the Bob Zany official
The official
channel.
Bob Zany channel, and I have to say that because people have posted so much of my stuff over the years. This is my channel and this is my stuff.
Yeah, it's official. It's Bob Zany, as in Zany or
And so,
Bob.
yeah, and sometimes people put an E in Zany like it's a real name, but don't do that.
It's too bad you didn't get that gig on Bob's Big Boy Zany. That could have worked out as well.
That could have been the whole turning point in my career. From that I could have been the next Colonel Sanders, and that could have been my. I would just be fast food icons. I've always wanted to be Dave from Wendy's,
I could see you
but who
passing.
doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for a number of reasons. So, well, that was delightful. I'm glad you took time out. I want to thank you for coming on the show. My guest has been comedian Bob Zany. He's headlining in Brad Garrett's Comedy Club at the MGM through December 23rd. And for ticket information, go to bradgarrettcomedy.com for everything about Bob Zany. And you go to bobzany.net. He's the only one left with a net as opposed to a com, but okay, bobzany.net. And you can follow him on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And Bob, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Ari. You're the best. Bye bye.
Yeah, see you next time.